You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. We are halfway through the week out there this morning, and it is going to be another beautiful day outside, and we are looking forward to those temperatures.
Yes, we are up to Wednesday, February 21st, right now in the low 70s. John Scalzi's got a preview of what's happening today. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Yeah, it looks pretty good for us, actually. We'll have a little chance of rain, fog, wind, or inclement temperatures. In fact, everything is fine for your drive time this morning. There's absolutely no problem. Temperatures will be in the low 70s to start off the day, and on the way home, you'll find temperatures that'll be in the low 80s to upper 70s. All in all, an absolutely fantastic start to the day. No rainfall for us today. Yesterday, we broke an all-time February temperature record at 90 degrees. Unbelievable. And we're probably heading pretty close to that again today. Lots of sunshine around, high UV indexes. Complete forecast in a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Nothing to report so far today in Manatee County. That will change as we move on. Little blip there on Clark Road as you head eastbound away from Beneva. Avoid that if you can. Farther south, all clear. And one more look at the area between South Venice and Charlotte County. All clear at 5:02. Here's a pretty picture outside at the Ringling Bridge Causeway. Our live camera showing the beautiful lights beneath the bridge.
That looks gorgeous outside today.
Very
It's
nice.
another beautiful day. Well, Bradenton police detectives, they are investigating after a second note was found threatening a shooting at Manatee High School.
As Marla Spence now tells us, parents and students can expect an increased presence on the campus today. Marla?
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie and Ray. I'm live outside of Manatee High School in Manatee County, and this is where Bradenton police, like you said, is continuing to investigate what they found, a note threatening a shooting at this school campus. Now, this comes after a note was found last week with the same threat of a shooting. Now, according to a police report, a press release, detectives were investigating a threatening note that was found last week at Manatee County High School, and that second note that was also found here at the school on yesterday. Now, that note was threatening violence against those at the school, and this morning I've been seeing lots of police presence as well as security circling around the school. The initial investigation began when the student threatened a note that a shooting would take place here on Thursday, February 22nd, and that's when officers announced that they would be investigating and they will be looking into this threatening note that was found here on the campus. Now, if anyone has any information, they are urged to call Manatee County Sheriff's Office or also Bradenton Police as soon as they can. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Marla. Whether it's solving crime or asking the public's help with criminals or missing children, social media has become a valuable tool for police. Social media can help track the steps of an accused criminal and sometimes lead to clues they couldn't find otherwise. But there are times when social media can lead police in the wrong direction.
Sometimes it's our best friend and helps us to solve something, and sometimes it's our worst enemy. When we do get inaccurate information or sometimes just false information, it just prolongs and hurts. It costs taxpayers money is what it does, because we're looking for something that isn't there, and it just pulls away from the time and effort that could have been used in looking for credible information.
Law enforcement continues to adapt as the technology advances.
And law enforcement is using social media more and more these days to keep the public updated. Now, yesterday, Northport Police posted this picture of a, quote, backup gone wrong in the Walmart parking lot. Now, thankfully, nobody was injured in this one, but it is a great way to keep in touch with your local police and sheriff's offices. 1 week after the Parkland High School shooting, lawmakers in Florida and in Washington are under pressure to take new action on guns.
Some of the survivors of that massacre will meet with Florida lawmakers today. Arlette Sines says details from Washington.
Survivors turned activists are storming Florida's Capitol to demand action.
This is not about Democrats, this is not about Republicans, this isn't left or right. This is a movement for humanity, for safety, for keeping our citizens alive.
1 week after the Parkland shooting, students are ramping up the pressure on state lawmakers.
We're talking about gun safety, we're talking about school safety, and we're talking about mental health.
While the students rode on buses to Tallahassee, Florida lawmakers voted to not consider a bill to ban assault rifles. One survivor watching the vote overcome with emotion.
It was a big punch in the gut.
In the nation's capital, President Trump directed his attorney general to find a way to ban bump stocks, a device not used in Parkland, but used in the Las Vegas rampage.
I signed a memorandum directing the attorney general to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.
Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein said the directive won't be enough, tweeting, "Legislation is the only answer." The president also wants to strengthen background checks while the White House is facing questions about assault weapons.
Does the president believe there should be an age limit for those who buy an AR-15?
I think that's certainly something that's on the table for us to discuss.
President Trump will meet with high school students and teachers at the White House later today. An official guest list hasn't been released yet, but the White House says it will include people affected by the shootings in Parkland, Columbine, and Newtown. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Students across the nation have been inspired by teens in Broward County. Teens say that the weapons are causing pain for families and fear in communities. Dozens marched to North Carolina yesterday in solidarity for their counterparts in Broward County and for gun control legislation in their own states.
I was reading text messages from people who were in the shooting, texting their parents, and I just started crying because it's so scary and it's so sad. I can't even imagine what I would do if I was in that situation.
That march in North Carolina was planned entirely by the students.
Governor Rick Scott wants to properly honor the victims from last week's shooting. Now, he's directed the Florida National Guard to honor 3 fallen members of the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps, or Junior ROTC, from Stoneman Douglas High. Florida National Guard members, they're going to actually be attending the funeral services as well, and they're going to pay respect to those Junior ROTC members and their families. Another side note, West Point, the military academy there, they announced that they are admitting one of the victims, Peter Wang, posthumously. Now, he died while holding a door open so his classmates could escape the shooting. He saved multiple lives in the process.
The concerns from Stoneman Douglas students will be heard by state leaders and people all across the country today. CNN will broadcast a town hall at the BB&T Center, which is 10 miles south of Parkland in Sunrise. You can watch that live coverage on our website, mysuncoast.com. We'll stream it live and on Facebook in its entirety. The town hall starts at 9 o'clock tonight. You can also watch it on our app. Just download it on the App Store at WWSB or My Suncoast. Still ahead, the latest First Alert forecast and traffic, and Russian trolls are said to have targeted Americans all across the country, including Florida. When we come back, we'll show you a reaction from one Trump support group leader.
And Vice President Mike Pence is in Florida today. We're going to have a preview of what he is here and what he's going to be talking about today. We'll have that story in the next few minutes. And right now, you are looking live at that town hall venue in Sunrise, Florida. As we mentioned today, CNN is going to be airing a nationally televised town hall. It's going to be with students and parents. Again, you can watch that streaming live on our ABC7 app. We'll be right back.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you! When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, yesterday we smashed the all-time high temperature record. It was 85. We hit 90 degrees. In fact, it was the warmest temperature of the month ever recorded. The high temperature record was in 97, so we smashed that. We're probably on our way to breaking another one this morning. Right now we're at 70 degrees. If we hold there, we'll also break the warmest minimum temperature of the day record for today, which is 69 degrees. We may tie it. We may drop another degree before we start to warm again. But certainly, warm start to the day. Temperatures 70s most everywhere. Current conditions outside 70 degrees with a dew point value that has risen up to 69, making it feel just a little teeny bit more muggy out there this morning. Winds out of the east-southeast coming in at about 11. That easterly component to the wind, that's good. That'll help dry us out. But the southerly component, of course, adds moisture to the mix. So I think today will be slightly more humid than yesterday. Now what that means is that the temperatures will probably take a little bit more time to warm as we head through the day. We'll see. Temperature, if the winds switch a little bit back to the east, well, we'll start to lose some of that dew point value. Not much in the way of a rain chance across the entire state today. We're dry out there, and we'll stay that way through the daytime hours. No areas of cloudiness or rain showers anywhere close to us under a big ridge of high pressure. The closest clouds are really way out in Gulf waters, and I don't expect that will help limit our daytime heating today whatsoever. We will again have high UV indexes coming in at about a 7 this afternoon, which is almost very high. 8 and above is considered a very high UV index. So SPF 50 or better sunscreens every 2 hours is what is recommended by the skin pros out there. 70 degrees by 7 a.m. We'll get to about 82 degrees by 12 noon. As we head into the afternoon, expect to see a lot of sunshine, little in the way of a rain chance, warm conditions up in the upper 80s once again, and I do believe we will break another record today. Although today's record is 87, a little bit higher than it was yesterday, still I think temperatures will be warm enough. By 7 p.m. this evening, we're back down into the 70s. Hour-by-hour forecast shows through the morning hours. We're looking at a lot of sunshine coming our way, maybe a few passing clouds, but nothing that portends any rainfall for us. Futurecast into the evening hours, 85 degrees by later in the afternoon. As we head into the evening, we'll see temperatures start dropping into the mid to upper 70s, so it'll be a warm evening as sun sets. It should be actually kind of nice out there. We'll watch that continue to drop into the lower 70s for an overnight low. A frontal boundary back to the west continues to provide heavy weather for parts of the country, really stretching from Cleveland to Houston. Big areas of showers and thunderstorms will move into Louisiana a little bit later in the day with the potential around that low pressure area of some strong thunderstorm activity. As far as any kind of threat of severe weather, that's going to be mostly around the Louisiana area today, around that center of low pressure. Cold back behind the front, and I do mean temperatures near zero for us. Another hot day. In fact, warm up and down the eastern seaboard. Southeast wind switching to the west in the evening at about 5 knots. Light chop on bay and inland waters. 7-day forecast today, 88. Tomorrow, 86. And then maybe we'll start to cool a little bit as we head into the weekend. But still, even so, well above average. And that trend, I think, is going to continue into next month. Back to you.
All right, let's take a look outside at 5:15 at your traffic this morning. Not too much to see out there. The roads are looking pretty good. We won't see a lot of congestion until around 6 or 6:30. You do have some slowdowns right there on 301. If you're heading into North Sarasota, those roads are looking pretty good. You do have a little bit of a slowdown that's right there on the corner of Clark and 75, right there on 75, right at that interchange. A little bit of a blip there. And if you're heading a little bit farther south, those roads are pretty congestion-free at this point in the morning. If you're heading a little farther south into Venice, or maybe South Venice, or maybe heading down into the Port Charlotte area, Tarpon Point, that whole area, those roads are looking pretty clear this morning as well. That's your first alert traffic.
The FBI says Russian hackers tried to influence voters online. Agents say Russians operated under the title of being patriotic, calling themselves an online community, but they were actually internet trolls trying to create more division in the election. They even instructed Trump supporters to stage a flash mob in August, and a Trump support group in Broward County responded. A reporter from CNN confronted the leader of the Facebook group.
Those were Russians.
They were not Russians. I don't go with the Russians.
That
Come on,
group
give me
was Russian.
I have nothing to do with the Russians.
Well, apparently you did.
No.
Even though the indictment says Russians organized a rally, the leader of Team Trump, Broward, says she never communicated with any Russians, and no one at any of her events was anything but Americans for Trump.
The parents of an FSU fraternity pledge who died at a party are now filing a civil suit against the national chapter. That suit names Pi Kappa Phi's national chapter, as well as several people, including all 9 fraternity members who were charged with criminal hazing after Andrew Coffey's death last year. Now, Florida State suspended its fraternities and sororities for almost 3 months. Alcohol is still not being allowed at campus functions. The national spokesperson for the fraternity has no comment on the lawsuit. And Vice President Mike Pence is in Cape Canaveral today for a National Space Council meeting. Now, that council was reinstated by both the president and vice president last year. A similar council that existed over 20 years ago was in charge of going over our space policy and setting some long-term goals for developing space-related strategies and technologies. And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, AT&T announces the first cities to be getting 5G.
And the lobster emoji is being corrected. We'll show you the technical error that caused some programmers to fix it. Here's a live shot of Washington, D.C. as the day is yet to break there in the nation's capital. 70 degrees back here in Sarasota. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
This is a live shot of where tonight's town hall meeting is on CNN. This is in Sunrise, about 10 minutes south of Parkland, where the shooting was last week today.
That's right, and they're going to be airing a nationally televised town hall tonight. It's going to be held with students and parents, community members, as well as some of Florida's politicians as well. It's called Stand Up. The students of Stoneman Douglas demand action. You can stream it live on our app as well if you are going to be out and about and don't want to miss that.
Love to hear from you. Every day we update our respective Facebook pages, fresh content, so take a peek, like the page while you're there. We're on Twitter as well and also on Instagram. Good Morning Suncoast on several platforms here on social media. In business news, the happiest place on earth has some very unhappy employees. Stephanie has details of a bonus dispute.
That is right. About 35,000 workers at Disney World are demanding the bonuses they say they were promised. Now, last month, Disney announced a $1,000 bonus for employees, including those represented by unions. But the union says Disney will only give its workers the bonus if they accept a wage offer that the union already voted against. Now, that offer was a 50-cent an hour raise over the next 2 years. A Disney spokesperson told local media outlets that wages and bonuses are part of the negotiation process. They will continue to meet with the union to move forward toward an agreement. And 2 of Hollywood's biggest powerhouses are joining the movement. Oprah Winfrey and Steven Spielberg are matching George and Amal Clooney's $500,000 donation to a student-led March for Our Lives rally. Now, Winfrey tweeted out from her verified account last night that the student organizers remind her of civil rights activists back in the 60s, who have also said they've had enough and wanted their voices heard back then. Plus, Spielberg and DreamWorks Animation founder Jeffrey Katzenberg also pledged donations. Now, Katzenberg also tweeted out that he is even going to be attending that march. And switching gears, China is warning that it will take action if the U.S. puts heavy taxes on steel and aluminum imports. As the Trump administration weighs taking a tougher stance on trade, some American companies are worried about the potential impact on U.S. agriculture. Now, restrictions on market access could cause some companies to take a hit when it comes to agriculture and technology.
They understand very clearly the political pressure points in the U.S., whether it's in Congress or in local state houses, and certainly to the White House.
And a recent survey shows the majority of U.S. companies in China think trade between both of the countries is fair. They want things to change, but nobody wants a trade war. And more jobs for people with disabilities. That is the goal of the governor of Wisconsin, and he is going about it in a really creative way by going undercover as a McDonald's employee. Now, he says he was hoping it would help draw attention to the hiring of people with disabilities.
So we have found with the folks we've talked to and employers across the state is that when people make a point to hire people with disabilities, they're some of their most loyal, dependable workers, and that makes for a strong organization. And it's good not just for the people working there, it's good for all the other folks that are part of their team.
According to Governor Walker, hiring disabled people helps create a more inclusive community as well. Another plus, jobs like these help boost independence and security for those employees.
You'd think they might recognize him undercover.
I know, right? You think? You know, when he's there in a suit and tie almost?
Says
yes.
His name tag.
Right? Creative, though. I
Right.
appreciate that. Well, if you're looking for an even faster mobile internet, can't get to those sites fast enough, well, you are not alone. AT&T is making good on a promise to provide faster mobile internet. Overnight, the company announced which cities will be the first to get 5G.
ABC has the list in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the next generation of wireless technology.
AT&T will begin rolling out 5G wireless service this year, starting in Dallas, Waco, and Atlanta.
5G is about 10 times faster than 4G. The other major wireless networks also promise a 5G network, but AT&T is the first to announce the official rollout. A legal victory for movie database IMDb.
A federal judge says the website doesn't have to remove actors' ages. In 2016, a law was passed in California saying the site did have to remove actors' ages at their request. But the federal judge's ruling says that law is unconstitutional because those ages amount to free speech. And a botched emoji is getting a makeover before its official public release.
Yeah, the emoji making folks have announced that their proposed lobster will be fixed to have the correct 10 legs instead of 8.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Blue Buffalo.
More pet parents are turning to grain-free Blue Freedom to help their dogs be at their best. Made with the finest natural ingredients, Blue Freedom has no grains, no glutens, and for some dogs, there's no better diet.
Hey, allergy muddlers. Are you one sneeze away from being voted out of the carpool? Try Zyrtec. Zyrtec starts working hard at hour 1 and works twice as hard when you take it again the next day. Stick with Zyrtec. Muddle no more.
And try Children's Zyrtec for consistently powerful relief of your kids' allergies.
Irreplaceable monkey protection. Detergent alone doesn't kill bacteria, but adding Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria with 0% bleach. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills. Wow! Stop stains and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, a proposal to make Florida schools safer could be ready to go as soon as this Friday. We're going to tell you what Governor Rick Scott is doing to make that happen.
I'm live at Manatee High School, where police presence has increased for this campus after not one but two letters threatening a shooting at this high school were found.
And a Sarasota city commissioner criticizes the city manager for letting Moat Marine Aquarium move to Sarasota County. What other issues he also mentioned this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning to you on this Wednesday morning, halfway through the week. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. More record-breaking temperatures out there. Wow.
Yes, I love all the numbers that John Scalzi is throwing out this whole week. 80s, record-breaking. It's a beautiful week right here.
Good morning, John.
Good morning. What do you say we go for 3?
Yes. Right.
Yeah, we've had 2 already. Records broken. Yesterday, we shattered the record by 5 degrees. Warmest, actually, February temperature on record. And we'll probably go down this month as one of the warmest on record, if not the warmest on record. So that trend continues today with very warm temperatures climbing into the upper 80s, no doubt. The old record is 87, so this one is going to be a little harder to beat than yesterday's temperature, but I think we'll do it. We're looking at a lot of sunshine around today. Temperature 70 degrees by 7 a.m., 82 degrees by the time we have lunch today. And then as we head into the later afternoon, we'll see temperatures max out in those upper 80s. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall around here this morning. Looking at a pretty nice day. 10 out of 10 chance of an outside recess. Back to you guys.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. Some early buildup there on 301 northbound as you head toward Ellington. Also, State Road 70, some congestion there. Farther south into the northern maps of Sarasota County, some early residual delays there on Clark Road in the westbound lanes around Honore. Also 75 there northbound. Checking farther south, nothing much to report. We'll zoom in closer now on the Northport area, not too far from the Charlotte County line. All clear right now. And at this point, we're going to show you a live picture of the Ringling Bridge. Our live camera catching this beautiful shot. Isn't that nice?
It's gorgeous. You drive by that every day, but you never get the chance to just notice how beautiful it is.
Like they lit the underside there.
Yeah, very cool.
Indeed, the streets are getting busier every minute. You can check up to the minute traffic updates on our phone and your phone.
And my phone, and John Scalzi's phone, and everyone's phone.
Yes, our app is at WWSB or My Suncoast.
Well, Bradenton police detectives are investigating after a second note was found threatening a shooting at Manatee High School.
As Marla Spence now tells us, parents and students can expect an increased police presence today on campus. Marla?
Yeah, since I've been out here this morning, I've seen school security and police circling the campus. This morning, I spoke to a man who lives across from Manatee County High School, and as he was headed out the door to work this morning, he stopped by to tell us how he is relieved to know that security measures are being increased at the school after not one but 2 letters were found on campus this week threatening a shooting. Now, detectives say they learned of the most recent threat yesterday, which states there will be a shooting at Manatee County High School. Today, an initial investigation began when the first letter was found by a student Friday threatening a shooting here at Manatee High School for tomorrow, and that student, only 14 years old, was arrested in connection to that threat. We spoke to Manatee County School Superintendent, and this is what she had to say.
Talk to your children, look at what they're doing on social media, because that's how it's being done for the most part these days, and to continue to talk to their children about threats of violence.
There's no word yet if both letters are connected in any way. Anyone with information regarding these letters that were found on this campus of Manatee High School, they are urged to call Bradenton Police. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Governor Scott is hoping a plan to make schools safer be ready by Friday in Tallahassee. He said in a meeting with representatives from schools and law enforcement, he is taking all of their recommendations into consideration, and he's talking to as many people, he says, as he can.
My goal is to come up with something that is going to move the needle and make parents feel more comfortable that their kid's going to go to a safe school. That's the goal.
Well, any changes will have to happen fast because the legislative session ends in 2 weeks.
Now, while some are in Tallahassee, hundreds of students from Stoneman Douglas High School stayed in South Florida to honor a late coach. The cross-country team took to social media to spread the word of their run, calling it Parkland's Run for Beigel. Hundreds of people showed up for the run, which was 17 laps long, in honor of the number of people killed in that shooting. Witnesses say the 35-year-old coach opened the door to his classroom once he realized there was a shooting, helping to save many lives in that process. The team is hoping the run catches on around the globe, with other people dedicating their run to the coach's honor as well.
A state lawmaker from Tampa fired his aide who emailed a reporter a claim that 2 survivors of the mass shootings in Florida were actually actors. Representative Sean Harrison tweeted a comment that he didn't agree with the insensitive and inappropriate comment made by his aide, Benjamin Kelly. Now, this is actually the state lawmaker, not the aide. Kelly later tweeted it was a mistake to make the claim in an email to Tampa Bay Times. Harrison said Kelly acted without his knowledge.
And state leaders say Florida is close to replacing the Confederate statue in the U.S. Capitol. The State House approved a bill yesterday, and it's headed to Governor Rick Scott's desk today, where he is expected to sign it. Now, if approved, the statue will be replaced with one of Mary McLeod Bethune, pictured right here. She founded a school that would become a historically black university. Now, if done, her statue would be the first African-American woman in Statuary Hall.
5:36 right now. On to some other news. A Bradenton man was found guilty of second-degree attempted murder from an incident last May. The state attorney's office says illegal immigrant Alexander Martinez entered the victim's apartment and stabbed him before pushing the female victim down the stairs and striking her. A date for sentencing has not yet been determined.
Well, Sarasota city leaders are looking at the possibility of banning conversion therapy. Last night, they met to discuss an ordinance that would stop professionals from performing this type of therapy on minors. Now, conversion therapy has been in the news very often lately. It's typically used in counseling to attempt to change an individual's sexual orientation. Now, the City Commission agreed 3-2 to move forward with drafting an ordinance, but also has requested more information on the issue. And Congressman Tom Rooney was scheduled to appear at a meeting last night in Nokomis to discuss topics like the school shooting, but that didn't happen. Now, this is what last night's Republican Club meeting there looked like. It was supposed to feature Congressman Rooney, but at the last minute he backed out. Now, dozens of people from the Indivisible organization stood outside that meeting holding signs and protesting. They were hoping to get answers from the congressman. We're very disappointed that he didn't show up. The Republican Club meeting went on as planned, minus Rooney.
He was worried that Indivisible might start violent trouble, and he was worried about the people in the Nova Republican Club here, too.
We have had a year of a lot of things happening in our government, and we believe that we have a lot of questions that have not gotten answered. We believe that we have a right to ask him questions. He is our representative.
Now, on Monday, Congressman Rooney had announced that he will not be seeking re-election this year. Sarasota City Commissioners got into a heated argument over the Moat Marine Lab's plan to relocate to Nathan Benderson Park in 2021. Now, that announcement of plans to build a new aquarium outside the Sarasota city limits caused Commissioner Hagan Brody to question City Manager Tom Barwin. Now, Brody criticized Barwin for not intervening and not doing more to keep Moat from leaving its current spot on City Island. Now, Brody also says that Barwin could have done more to save the Players Theater from leaving Lakewood Ranch and developer Harvey Vengroff from pulling his plans for affordable housing. And happening today, Fabio the turtle is headed home. The Gulf World Marine Park is releasing the rescued sea turtle back into the wild. This poor guy has been stranded 4 times since 2009. I'm going to suspect a conspiracy theory. He was most recently found after getting hit by a boat near Jacksonville. Now, after a year of rehab, Fabio is ready to go back out into the wild and try that again.
I would think so.
Poor guy. Maybe he just realized he has it so good in rehab, he wants to keep coming back and, you know, getting those good lunches.
They do get spoiled there, that's right. Up next, First Alert Traffic, and USA Today named the nation's most dangerous city. We'll show you where it is and what they're doing already to change that statistic.
And what exactly is happening to those convicted of crimes relating to marijuana possession in states that it's illegal now? Well, we're going to show you what's happening in California, for one, when we come back.
70 degrees right now on the outside. Here's a shot of the Rosemary District and downtown Sarasota off in the distance. Some very dramatic clouds there.
I know, it's very beautiful out there this morning.
You are
Nice
watching
sunrise.
Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So far we are holding at 70 degrees, and it is possible that we could break another record this morning. Not even waiting until this afternoon with an overall warm low temperature value. We need to keep it at 70 though. If we drop down to 69, we'll tie the record for the day of warm overnight temperatures. That's assuming, of course, that we don't drop below 70 during the evening hours before midnight, and I don't think we will. Our temperatures generally everywhere coming in at about the 70-degree mark. Officially at the airport, we have 70 degrees with a dew point value coming in at 69, making it feel just a little bit more sticky, I think, than it did 24 hours ago. Dew point value up a degree or two. We have an east-southeast wind now at 11. And it's a little southerly component to the wind I think is going to stick with us. It's still kind of breezy coming in at about 11 for this time of morning. And I think that easterly wind or that southeasterly wind is going to help keep that sea breeze pretty close to the coastline again today and allow for the temperatures to rise over land. Not much in the way of any kind of rain showers around. Big ridge of high pressure sitting out in the Atlantic, nosing in over the peninsula, preventing any rain showers. And the air too dry, really, especially aloft, to support showers. So no cooling rains this afternoon. And we're not seeing anything close to the coastline either, so boaters, it should be a pretty nice start to the day. We have a little fair weather cloudiness out in the Gulf waters, but that's really it. There's nothing other than that that will prevent full sunshine from warming our temperatures pretty quickly after dawn breaks. Sunny and warm today, 70 degrees by 7 a.m. By noon, we'll get up to about 82, and then we'll be well on the way to seeing temperatures in the upper 80s, I think, again this afternoon. Probably topping out about 88, but yesterday was kind of a surprise to see it hit 90 as well. So we'll see what happens this afternoon in terms of our daytime high temperature, but it's certainly going to be a warm one, no doubt about it, no matter which way we go. 78 degrees by 7 p.m. this evening. Again, an overnight low temperature that'll be warm. Winds generally out of the east or southeast. We'll have a few passing clouds, but no rain contained within those clouds. We'll look for temperatures quickly to rise as we head into the lunchtime hour to the 80s. And then as we head into the afternoon, upper 80s. And then as we move into the evening, we'll drop back down into the 70s, but upper 70s. And it should be a pleasant sunset. Should be a beautiful sunset, actually. Maybe a few fair weather clouds out in the Gulf helping to reflect the sunlight. But other than that, I don't think we'll have any impediments. Again, the east wind strong enough that along the coastline, if you're going to take a beach walk, I think we'll probably have not much of a sea breeze out there. So, again, those winds out of the east keeping temperatures pretty uniform from coast to inland areas. A little bit warmer inland, but still pretty warm near the coast, too, because we're just not going to catch much of a sea breeze. Line of showers extends all the way down from Texas to Toronto. That's part of a frontal boundary that's really dividing the nation very sharply between warm temperatures to the east and cooler temperatures back to the west. Even have some snow showers transitioning into freezing rain in parts of the heartland today, and the potential for some severe weather in parts of the deep south, especially Louisiana. But for us, we stay dry under the influence of this high pressure ridge, which provides us with these warm temperatures really all the way up into New York and Boston. It's going to have some warm temperatures around. For boating today, nice southeast wind shifting to the west with that sea breeze, a little shallow sea breeze at about 5 knots. I don't think you'll get that sea breeze to penetrate very far inland today, though. So if you're not boating and you're on land, don't expect much of a cooling effect from those shifting winds. 88 degrees today for a daytime high, tomorrow 86. And then as we head into Friday and Saturday and Sunday, we'll start to cool it down a little bit, but still remaining well above average for this time of year. And that trend continues on into next week. Next chance of rain will not come until next week. And even then, it's going to be a small chance. Back to you.
All right, taking a look outside, your first alert traffic this morning is starting to get a little bit more congested. If you're heading from downtown Bradenton into Sarasota, you are going to see some slowdowns right there on 301 as well. In North Sarasota, those roads are looking pretty clear. Just a little bit of a problem there, a little slowdown on the corner of 75 and Clark Road right there on 75, a little congestion. If you're heading into South Sarasota County, those roads there are looking pretty clear and congestion-free this morning. Not too much to see there. If you're heading into Venice, South Venice area, Tarpon Point, then into Port Charlotte, those roads are looking great out there as well today. No fog, no major road traffic to speak of. 547 with your first alert traffic.
Some new crime data shows the nation's most dangerous city is Baltimore. While other major cities saw a decrease in crime, Baltimore's numbers went up. Law enforcement already began a program that'll combat this. It's called the Violence Reduction Initiative, and police say they have now seen a drop in crime because of it.
I'm not a magician or anything like that, but I'm very clear that the direction that we're taking is going to get us to where we need to go. Are we satisfied yet? No. Are we trending in the right direction? Yes.
Seems to be, in fact, so far this year, 32 homicides so far compared to 47 this time last year.
When Californians voted to legalize recreational marijuana, they also paved the way to apply those new laws retroactively, which means that some people with prior convictions that wouldn't be illegal today can now have them expunged. So far, the Alameda County DA's office has worked to get 609 cases dismissed, but there are still 5,900 cases left to be reviewed.
The typical crimes were either transporting marijuana for sale, also possession of large amounts of marijuana for sale, and then for people that had old possession convictions.
San Francisco's district attorney announced in January that his office is also applying the new law retroactively to convictions dating as far back as 1975 in the city court. Now, he expects to expunge more than 3,000 misdemeanor convictions and review almost 5,000 felonies.
Sign of the times here. Veterinarians are now having to restrict medication on pets to prevent their owners from taking it. Vets are now required to limit opioid prescriptions to just 5 days, and in some states, there are now legal steps in place to prevent this type of abuse. But in Florida, vets are to use their best judgment.
Kind of tried to pay attention to how we're dispensing controlled drugs and just making sure that nothing kind of seems suspicious when we're filling them. But I don't think that we were legally required to do quite as much as what we've done just in practice.
In school, vets are trained to look for red flags in an owner that's looking to refill their pet's medication. They're advised to look for a drug-free, safe alternative to treat the injured animal if they just don't trust the owner.
In this hour's Health Smart, a surprising benefit of the flu shots.
Experts say the flu shots help prevent heart attacks as much as quitting smoking or taking medicine for high blood pressure. According to a Canadian study, elderly people who are sick with the flu are 6 times more likely to have a heart attack. Doctors don't fully know why the flu may lead to heart attacks in some people, but it could be the added stress the virus puts on your body. That, combined with cardiovascular problems, can be dangerous and deadly. Want to live till you're 90 or older? One researcher says reaching for a wine glass may help you live longer. Good news, Stephanie.
I knew this going.
No names. A neurologist from the University of California studied 1,700 people who lived until at least 90. Dr. Claudia Kawas found that people who drank 2 glasses of wine or beer reduced their chances of dying prematurely by 18%. I guess that's 2 a day. Dr. Kawas also noted that people who were slightly overweight but not obese were 3% less likely to die young.
So let me recap what you just said there. So if we have, a beverage a day,
yes, or
and
2.
then maybe we can also indulge in a little bit, unhealthy foods, we're going to live longer.
I'm hoping.
I feel like that literally is opposite of what we've been taught our whole life.
I know. I'm hoping that cookies also help.
Right? Thin mints are good for you too. I'm going to start that study today.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
Wow, well, you are looking live this morning at Manatee High School. We have been out there all morning long. Our Marla Spence is out there. They have had 2 threatening notes, one last week, one yesterday. We're going to tell you what that they are doing today to keep those students safe today, increase security, and more. Marla's going to be live from there when we come back.
This holiday season, show a little imagination. For her, how about a visit to the spa or an evening at a fine restaurant? For him, it could be a round of golf on a world-class course or gear from the pro shop. You'll find these gifts and more at rtjgolf.com/gift cards. RTJ gift cards and resort cards are easy to wrap and never go out of style. Whether it's a good drive, a great steak, or relaxation at the spa, find it at rtjgolf.com/gift cards.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Gun control advocates were on hand to greet Congressman Tom Rooney last night in Nokomis, but he didn't show up for the meeting. Still no word why he didn't show.
Plus, a proposal to make Florida schools safer could be ready to go as soon as this Friday.
And Sarasota City Commissioner Hagan Brody criticized City Manager Tom Barwin last night for not doing more to keep Moat Marine in the city limits.
And today, the Sheriff of Manatee County will once again look at what can be done to combat the opioid epidemic here on the Suncoast. We're going to have a preview and details of that meeting later on Good Morning Suncoast around 6:30 this morning.
5:56, record-breaking heat on the Suncoast this week. John's forecast and more local news on the way. Stay with us.